Good morning, yogis. Let's go ahead and come to our comfortable seated position. So just as a little recap, when we sit down on our cushions, we want to make sure the hips are elevated and that the knees can fall down towards the earth. Sometimes if you have tight hips, the knees will be up like this, and that'll put pressure on the feet and pressure on the hips. So in this case, you might want to slide 2 extra pillows under your knees so that you can feel yourself lifted. We are going to be in the seated position for a little bit of time. So I want you guys to settle in a comfortable way. Also think about your heels. When we sit in this Sukhasana position, you want to make sure that your heels is kind of lined up with the center line of your body, the seam of your pants. And then your other heel goes right in front. So your 2 heels are kind of stacked right in front. Once you're seated, you can kind of tilt your weight forward so that the knees can come to the floor. So there's this tripod shape that we're creating. The knees and the 2 sits bones creates this triangle shape, which is very, very strong and very supportive. So as we sit here, allow the shoulders to relax and think about extending and lengthening out of the hips. So we press the hips down and ground them down, including the pelvic floor. Everything is kind of pushed down, settled into the earth. And then from there, we rise. This rising gives space for breath. And so when we sit here, our yin practice will start with a short guided meditation. We allow ourselves to soften through the shoulders. We allow ourselves to rise up, drawing in through the navel and lifting up through the rib cage and the chest. The top of the head extends high up towards the sky. There's length and separation in the neck so that the shoulders are down away from the ears. The arms are resting comfortably here. So you can just let them kind of just rest on your lap. And go ahead and close your eyes if you haven't already. We'll take a few moments to just do our mindful breathing, which is simply observing the movement of the breath. A nice deep inhale followed by a slow, gentle exhale. And we start to become aware and pay attention to the spaces between the breath. The pause after the inhale. And the pause after the exhale. It's not a pause that you're creating. It's just a simple pause that is already kind of included in the cycle of the breath. Pay attention to this short pause here. Being mindful to remain as still as we can, as calm in our bodies so that it'll calm our hearts, it'll calm our minds. We might start to become aware of sensations within the body. Maybe there's a part of your body that is uncomfortable or feels tight, or maybe even sore from yesterday's class. Gentle reminder that just because we have a sensation or a feeling does not mean we need to react to it. We can acknowledge it, observe it, and not react. And by the same token, you are all aware that if ever there is pain within your practice, not discomfort, not annoyance, not distraction, but actual pain, you do want to adjust and move and create softness there. And with the next exhale breath, we're going to start to lower the chin towards the chest and draw down through the pelvic floor. So pull the muscles of the inner body up and in, hollowing out the belly if possible, and the chin starts to tuck towards the chest. So we're creating here 3 locks. The Mula Bandha, which is at the pelvic floor, drawing up and in. The Uddiyana Bandha,
which is at the center, at the solar plexus. Again, up and in, we're drawing the energy up. And then with the chin down towards the chest, the third block, Jalandhara Bandha. It's pretty hard to swallow here with the chin tucked in, but you want to kind of nuzzle the chin into that little space between your collarbones. Press it down, squeeze there, and then take a nice deep inhale and retain the breath here for a few moments. Squeeze the whole body. And exhale, let's release all of it. So that gently blink the eyes open, lift the chin back up. Good. We're going to do that one more time. Remember, your Mula Bandha is at the pelvic floor. You want to think about your two sits bones drawing in, and then your pubic bone and your tailbone drawing in, and it creates this tent. And I visualize this tent kind of pulling up through the pelvic floor. It's very similar to Kegel exercise. It's very important for women, especially after you've had children. So you want to kind of pull in and draw up through that center, and this draws up to the belly button. Here you catch the Uddiyana Bandha, which pulls in through the space. You should feel your rib cage kind of like expanding and opening out, hollowing out all of your belly. And then lastly, Uddiyana Bandha, your chin presses against that little notch in between your shoulders or in between your collarbones. And as you do this, it's hard to talk, it's even harder to breathe. So we're not going to breathe. We're going to hold and retain the breath after the inhale. So let's give it a try. Let's start with the Mula Bandha at the bottom. So exhale softly, begin to tighten up, pull in, inhale. Allow that inhale to rise into the Uddiyana Bandha, pull in, feel the rib cage expanding, keep tucking in, lifting, and then draw the chin down, continue the inhale, and retain the breath. Relax the shoulders. Hold it here. Exhale, let's release. Good. So that's pretty advanced practice. If you find yourself kind of being like, oh, I have no idea what we're doing, it's okay. Don't worry, we'll continue to practice. So let's take a moment to stretch out our legs since we've been here for a little bit of time. Go ahead, lean back, lengthen the legs forward, kind of shake them out a little bit. We're going to come back to seated to continue with some twists. So if you'd like, you can switch the direction of your feet. Whatever foot you had in front, place that one in the back and the other foot in front. It's going to feel a little less stable perhaps, or a little bit more difficult for you to sit this way. It's okay, give it a try. Let's go for an easy twist. Right hand, left knee, left hand behind. And because this is a yin practice, we're going to hold these postures a little bit longer than we normally do. So set yourself up comfortably. Allow your body to rotate and twist, and you can take your gaze back, or if you're not quite ready for that yet, just look over your right knee. You can use your left hand behind you to support you as you draw up and lengthen through the spine. You can continue to work with the Mula Bandha here, continue to draw up and in. And then if you feel good, you can start to take the gaze further and further back until you're gazing back over your left shoulder. We're going to hold here with a steady breath. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, continue your rotation or just hold. Again, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, gently hold. And allow the body here to find its place without forcing and without struggling. Since we've been here for a little bit of time here, if you would like, you can take that left hand behind you and reach it for your right thigh. This will create a little bit deeper opening into the left shoulder. So you're welcome to do that. But if that's too much, keeping that left hand on the floor is fine. Inhale, create space, extend, keep using your right arm as leverage. Exhale, fold and turn and twist. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, let's go ahead and release our binds and we'll come back through to center. Take a moment, nice, straight. Maybe move the torso around side to side and just acknowledge here what that rotation feels like. And when you release, What emotions rise up for you when that happens? We'll go ahead and do the other side. So right hand behind you, left hand onto right knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then just start nice and slow. Remember, we're here for a little bit, so you don't want to go all the way into your deepest version. You want to ease into it. So maybe on this side, you can't quite reach your left hand as close to your knee as you did on the other side. Don't lean for this. Again, keep that spine nice and straight and use that right arm behind you to find your rotation. Steadying through the breath. And your gaze can be over your right knee, over to the right, or you can start to move it behind you. Each inhale lengthens the spine, and each exhale moves you into your rotation or keeps you where you are so that you can soften and breathe through it. As we hold our twist, we want to create that calm, equanimous mind. That's really the, for me, a lot of times, the biggest benefit of my practice is that in moments of turmoil, in moments of difficulty, we find ourselves not figuring out what to cling to, what to hold on to. We feel like we're drowning. Our yoga teaches us that we can remain equanimous in a state of equanimity throughout whatever comes. So even though right now what's coming is only just a simple twist, we can use that as a template for the rest of our challenges. If you wanted to create a bind, reaching that right hand instead of behind you towards left thigh. And again, that is only an option. It is not a necessity. That right hand can clearly stay behind you as you find your rotation. Now the left arm is starting to work a little harder to create the movement, to create the pull. Maybe your gaze is further back over your right shoulder. Check in with your breathing. Are you breathing steady, rhythmic, and calm? The first sign that we're pushing too hard in our yoga practice is our breath. If your breath becomes erratic, that means that you have lost your equanimity. You have lost your sense of purpose here. Come back to a calm breath. One more inhale. And exhale. Let's go ahead and release. Slowly coming back through to center. Take a moment, release the arms, move the torso around a little bit, sway side to side. And then let's inhale, draw the arms up, extend through the spine, reach through the thumbs, point the fingers towards the sky, and see if you can draw your elbows towards each other. Exhale, slowly bring your hands in prayer. Venus just coming to say good morning. Inhale, arms up, extend. Great space. This feels really good after the twisting. Draw in through all of your bandhas. Pull in. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time. Inhale, draw the arms up. Create space, lengthen, reach, stretch, palms together, elbows towards each other. And exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. All right, we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. So kind of rolling over. You can remove your cushion now. We won't need it right now, but we'll probably use it in a moment. So let's start on our hands and knees plank. So we'll take a couple of breaths here to really set ourselves up properly. You want to make sure that when your hands are on the floor, there's that little 90-degree angle for your wrist. If this is your first class or if you haven't done yoga in a while, then you might want to bring your hands slightly forward so that that angle is not quite as 90. There's a little bit less of an angle. So this is a little bit more comfortable. You do want your knees and your hips to be stacked. So kind of figure out here how you want to be with the hands a little forward or the hands directly underneath the shoulders. Either way, press through the arms so that your shoulders are protracted, which means the shoulder blades are pulling away from each other. They're not bringing towards each other. That's retracted. Here's protracted, retracted, okay? So we want to protract the shoulders. Pull in through the lower belly. So again, the Uddiyana Bandha, pull it in and round a little bit into your tailbone. So you kind of tuck slightly to your tailbone. So this is our hands and knees plank. There's a lot of engagement happening here, but it doesn't seem like much. Your arms should be working, your fingers gripping your mat, and the tops of your feet pressing down into the floor. Now from here, what we're gonna do as we exhale is we're gonna release and retract the shoulders. And then with the inhale, we're gonna come into cow. So that means we're gonna lift the chest, open the shoulders back, and allow the tailbone to tilt up. This creates a deep, deep kind of hollow out in the back and a deep stretch from the pubic bone to the chin. And just gazing forward here, pressing into your arms. There's no bend in your elbows. Shoulders are rolling back. Hold and breathe. Inhale. Keep that roundness. Keep stretching through the front body. And then creating that curve in the back body. Exhale. Let's do one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Slowly as we inhale, let's start to kind of come back through to center. So the tailbone starts to tilt under. The shoulders begin to protract again. And with the full exhale here, let's curl into cat. So that means the tailbone tucks under, the shoulders fan away, the chin moves towards the chest so that the head tucks down between the shoulders. And then we hold here in this rounded position. So this is the opposite as before. The back body is stretching from tailbone to occipital ridge of your head or neck. And your front body is working, contracting, kind of hollowing out and pushing up. Hold here one breath, inhale. You can keep the engagement of the belly as you breathe. Exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale, keep pushing the floor away. Exhale. Good. And then slowly inhale, coming back through to center. We're going to take a little bit of a break here, and then we're going to add some movement. So take the hips all the way down to the heels. Let's lengthen the arms forward. If you want to separate your knees, you're welcome to. Otherwise, just bring the forehead to the floor. And let's relax here. This is our Balasana. Allow the shoulders to soften. If the arms forward feels like it's too much, you can always bring them down by your feet. Allow the forehead or the top of the head to touch the floor so your head is resting, not hanging in midair. If the head is in midair, it's not coming to the floor, you're welcome to use, again, a cushion or a block, and then bring your head to it so that you do want to feel that your head is settled. Our Balasana position is a place where we can rest. So this is our resting posture. You can relax in Balasana and not have to worry about catching up with your breath or doing anything like that. Go ahead and rest, Ruthie. Rest your head on the floor. Yeah, rest your head on the floor if you can, or your cushion. There you go. Good. Good. Very nice. Good job, Sori. So you want to feel that deep stretch to the lower back, into the shoulders, into the arms. Beautiful. Couple more breaths. Allow the breath to become, again, that equanimous, steady, natural pace of breathing. Not fighting here with your body, but simply letting go, surrendering to what is. And slowly with the next exhale breath, we'll take a deep inhale and roll ourselves back to our four-legged or a plank, four-legged plank position. Okay, so now we're gonna move from cat and cow with the breath. So the inhale lifts us into cow and the exhale pulls us into cat. So starting with a flat back, engage into the arms, tops of the feet on the floor, knees hip width, hands shoulder width. Inhale, lift up into cow. Full breath in. At the end of your inhale, take a pause. Exhale, curl it into cat. Use the entire breath to move until you find it. In the full exhale, pause. Inhale back to cat, or sorry, cow. Pause at the top. Exhale back to cat. Let's do 2 more. Inhale.
Cow pose. Really moving through the spine here. Exhale, cat pose.
Rounding through the back. Last one. Inhale.
Use your breath. If your breath is a little shorter than mine, you might be going a little quicker. Pause at the top. Exhale, tuck it under.
Pause at the end of the exhale. And then inhale, coming back to center. We'll sit back to our Balasana once more. We won't hold this one as long. Walk the fingertips forward. Reach the forehead or the top of the head to the mat. Steady breath. 1. Keep the belly drawn in, tailbone moving back and down towards the heels. 2. Pull the shoulder blades away from the ears. 3. Keep pulling in through your belly, creating space there. 4. Try to relax onto the tops of your feet. And 5. Good. Inhale, lift the head, walk the hands in for a moment. We're going to get off the hands for a moment, coming into our hero's pose. If this is difficult for you, you can use a cushion or a block to sit on instead. And then just kind of shake out your hands, move your fingers, move it around here. We're going to move into some downward facing dogs that we're going to hold for a little bit of time. These create strength and mobility in the body, and also gives us a chance to practice our equanimity and our patience. So go ahead, hands back down, tabletop position. Tuck the toes under. Draw in through belly. So this time the toes are tucked under. Protract through the shoulders. Lift the knees up just a little bit. This keeps your weight forward over your shoulders. Take a moment here. This is tough. Make sure that your body is nice and strong. And then exhale, press your hips back so that you are in a nice elongated line. We can keep our knees bent for the first one. Nice elongated line from the fingertips to the tailbone. Now the knees are soft, which means the heels are probably off the floor. Protract through the shoulders, move them kind of away from each other and wrapping around the armpits. Let your head kind of just hang here in between your arms so the neck is long. Keep drawing in through the belly and see if you can find your Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor here, and draw it in like that tent we spoke about before. If you feel good and you want to kind of add a little bit of movement, see if you can bring the left heel down and then the right heel. So remember, if your weight is forward over your shoulders like this, you're going to be dumping too much weight into your wrists. So bend your knees and move your weight back. Yes, Sori, that's it. Good. And then from this weight back, don't go forward again. Try to straighten one leg and then the other. So you should feel like you're trying to slide or push your mat forward with your knuckles and your fingers. I'm gonna hold here for a few more breaths. If you want to pedal out, you can do it slowly like I am, or you can do it quickly. Kind of just moving a little quickly through it. It's up to you. I'm feeling slow today. I don't know why. So you choose. This is a lot of work into the shoulders, into the arms. And if you need a break, remember you can go back to your Balasana, which is your child's pose. You can go always move back into your Balasana to rest. If you do go to your Balasana, rest for a few breaths and then come back to join us. Don't stay in your Balasana the whole time. Keep pulling in through navel. Keep lengthening from fingertips. Strong arms and shoulders. Back is working. Maybe you can press both heels down after all that pedaling. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. So if you're in Balasana, come back and meet us. 1. Keep wrapping the shoulders around. Strong knuckles. 2. Belly draws in tight. Pull in through the Mula Bandha. 3. Engage into the Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Pull up and in. 4. Your gaze is towards your upper thighs. Stay steady, almost there. And 5. Good. Exhale, bring the knees down. Take a moment, sit back. And again, this time, let's bring the hands down by the feet. Forehead comes to the floor. Steady breathing. Let the shoulders relax. Let the hands relax. Just your body fold over your thighs, no tension anywhere.
Sometimes Balasana can be a little bit uncomfortable. If you have knee issues or hip problems, you might want to adjust your Balasana by separating your knees or by using props between your thighs and your calves. There's always ways for you to modify, so please check with me after class if you need help for modifications. And then as we exhale, let's go ahead and roll ourselves back up to center. Good job. All right, so we're gonna move here a little bit into some twisting while we're in our downward facing dog. So if you found that difficult, we're gonna go up a little notch, see what you can do. Hands on the floor, coming back to your tabletop position. Tuck your toes under, get ready, retract shoulders, strong arms, you can do it. Lift the knees up, stay strong, belly drawn in, strong arms. Exhale, push your weight back. Find that length from tailbone to fingertips, nice long spine. Keep the knees soft for a moment. See if you can make any adjustments to your legs as you move your chest towards your thighs. Gaze towards your upper thighs or towards your knees. Now, from here, see if you can press the heels down. Even if you can't press the heels down, you can still do this with your knees bent. Keep drawing in through navel, and then we're going to take the right hand and slide it to the left ankle. If you can't find the ankle, just reach it to the floor somewhere. That's okay. That's still creating a twist. The point here is to keep moving your chest towards your thighs. Strong left arm. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Slowly release. Inhaling. Right hand down to the floor. Find your downward facing dog once more. And then left hand to the right ankle. Find your twist here. Rotating through your chest and opening up. So one. Holding it. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. See if you can kind of pull with that left arm. Really rotate into your torso. Exhale. Good. And then inhale back through to center, back to your downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths. And then this time, instead of coming down to the knees, look forward between your hands. And let's go ahead and walk your feet up to the center of your mat. Separate your feet about hip width. Soften maybe through your knees here. Maybe come to your fingertips. And what we're going to try to do here is hold on to the opposite elbow. So notice my knees are bent. And the reason why they're bent is because I want my rib cage to rest on my thighs. So you can really bend your knees if you need to. You can be all the way down here. So allow your hold on to your opposite elbows, let your body hang, and start to lengthen your tailbone up so that you can come into a straight leg one day. If today is not the day you come into straight leg, it's okay. Allow the shoulders to soften, gaze between your knees, draw in through your navel, and see if you can roll a little bit more weight to your toes. Play with this a little bit. You can rock front and back, feeling that deep stretch in the backs of the legs. You can rock side to side, maybe allowing that stretch to move a little bit into the hips. So movement is always good, even though in Yin we hold static postures, adding a little bit of movement in between feels pretty good. Also, this is an inversion. So inversion is very beneficial to regulate our blood pressure, to kind of give us those happy endorphins, the happy chemicals that allow us to kind of see the world in a slightly different way. And it changes our perspective. It really does. For me, inversions is about, wow, the world looks so different upside down. So take a moment to look at the space around you. Maybe you notice things now that you never noticed before. Try not to let your mind run away with stories, but just simply observe what the world looks like in this inverted shape. And then exhale, let's go ahead and release the hands, place the fingertips on the floor. Walk the fingertips forward slightly and see if now maybe you can straighten your legs completely. Contract through your quadriceps, lift up through your kneecaps, and kind of come onto this lifted posture. Now, if your fingertips don't quite come to the floor, remember you can always use blocks here to make the floor rise up to you. Let's stay here for a couple of breaths. Little different stretch through the backs of the legs. Easy breathing. Very different than downward facing dog because we're not in that straight back. We're going to try it here. Little mock down dog to continue that same line of breathing and line of movement.
Keep pulling in through belly, protracting and fanning out through the shoulders. One more breath. See if you can bring a little bit more weight forward to the balls of your feet. Stay on your fingertips if possible. And then keep walking the hands forward. So now there's a lengthening in the spine and your head can relax through the arms. This is similar to downward facing dog, but we're on our fingertips instead of the palms down. So strong fingers pressing into your mat, shoulders moving back, deep stretch in backs of your legs. Inhale and exhale. Good. One more. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. Go ahead and walk the fingertips back. See if you can plant the hands on the floor, bend your knees. We're going to go into a little bit of a Malasana or squat pose. Open your toes so that they're off your mat, but your heels are on your mat. If you're going to need something, maybe you can place a block or a cushion so that you can bring your butt to it. We're going to start slow and steady, just swaying side to side. And you can place your cushion somewhere underneath you. And then eventually we make our way down. So now you can sit on your cushion or your block. And we're going to start here in this seated position. You could do this without the block or the cushion, but because we're going to hold it for a little bit of time, it's better to have something supporting you. So elbows on the insides of the knees. So allow yourself to kind of come forward. Bring your palms together. Use your arms to help you guide your knees apart and then lift up through your chest. So you want to avoid being down here. This might feel comfortable for you for now, but try, if possible, to really extend up. Good, nice, very nice. I saw those adjustments. Now, as you press the palms in towards each other, you can leave them right at your heart or you can slide them slightly forward. At first, for me, forward felt better. This felt a little awkward, so play with the positioning of your hands. Steady your breathing and allow yourself to come into a space of equanimous sensitivity here. So that means that whatever you are feeling, physical, emotional, mental, you are okay with it. You are not dragged into making judgments on whether it is positive or negative. It just simply is. And when we accept things just as simply as they are, they kind of lose their control over us. Now we don't need to be a reactive being. Now we can just observe and allow the flow of life to take its course. Sometimes that renunciation can be very, very, very difficult. And so we practice here on our mats so that when we are faced with it in real life, we can have a little bit of experience with it. And so hold a couple more breaths. Maybe perhaps your inner thighs are really starting to feel this. Perhaps your lower back or your middle or upper back is really starting to feel this. There's all kinds of places you can be really feeling this Malasana here, this nice, beautiful, long, extended Malasana. Keep your feet flat on the floor and keep your gaze forward, your steadiness of breath, your calmness of mind. Surrender, let go, simply be. Let's do one more inhale, followed by one more exhale. And then slowly, let's go ahead and release the hands down to the floor. Beautiful work. Go ahead and round your spine here. So the length of the spine, let's move that. Let it go around the spine. Reach the fingertips forward. Maybe bring more weight to your toes. Really kind of press through your middle or upper back. Rounding, tuck the chin down. Really lengthen the fingertips. Some people are nice and flexible. They can bend their elbows, bring them to the floor. If that's you, by all means, bring those elbows down. Me, I'm not quite there yet. Allow yourself to kind of just really surrender to the letting go here without judging your efforts, simply noticing and observing. And then slowly inhale, come up. Good. I'm going to keep the cushion underneath us for Paschimottanasana. Extend the legs. If you have tightness in your legs, hopefully the few postures we did before would help. But in Paschimottanasana,
with the hips lifted, it does help us come forward a little bit more. So the first thing you want to notice is that your legs are straight, feet are flexed, and your toes are pointing up towards the ceiling or back towards your face. Draw in through your lower belly. So this lower belly can't be relaxed. If it's relaxed, you got nowhere to go, right? So pull up and in. Again, here's our Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, open up through the rib cage. You can leave your fingertips next to your body to support your back. Shoulders back, tuck your chin down slightly, and then gaze to the tip of your nose. Let's hold here for 5 breaths. 1. Keep that lengthening of the body, grounding down through your sits bones. 2. Allow the breath to lift the chest, the inhale, and allow the exhale breath to release the chest back down. 3. Still drawing in through belly and still elongating through the spine. 4. And 5. Good. Now, from here, we're going to try to hinge from the hips. So imagine you got hinges on your hips and you're pressing them back. So you're moving your legs back towards your cushion as you come forward to grab your toes. If grabbing the toes not accessible, you can use a strap here. So you don't have to go and spend money on a yoga strap. You can use an old necktie or a towel or a belt, anything really that's just like a long strap. Pull in through the belly and then exhale. See if you can fold a little deeper. Try to keep the legs as straight as possible, pulling in through the lower belly and let your body fold forward. Again, holding this one for 5. 1. 2, steady breathing. 3, keep pulling the shoulders back, drawing in through belly, reaching the sits bones a bit back and away. 4, top of the head extended towards the toes. And 5, good. Inhale, come up. Extend the body. Exhale. Let's go ahead and release. All right, we're going to remove that cushion out from underneath us and lay all the way down onto the back. So the first few we're going to do are for the hips. And once we lay down on your back, just take a moment to, again, arrive onto your mat. We always want to move from one position to the other with a sense of, I've arrived, I'm here, I'm present. There's nothing else I need to do. I'm just going to practice on working here with my breath and with my body. Honor your experience. And then we're going to bring a little bit of weight to the left foot as the right foot moves in towards the chest. So we're going to hold on to the right knee, pull it in towards the body. And with this left knee bent, you shouldn't feel too much pull or too much force here, but you do want to hug that knee in. You can interlace your hands or hold on to your opposite wrist as you hug it in. I like interlacing my hands. It seems to feel pretty stable for me. So then once your right knee is hugged in towards your right shoulder, go ahead and start to slide your left knee away. And you'll find there comes a point where the left knee won't go any farther. It'll stop. It'll be like, that's as far as I can go. Several things are dependent on this. One is your left hip flexors, the muscles by your in front of your left hip, including your psoas muscles, which wraps around. Another one could be your right hip. Maybe if you were to release your right leg, then this left leg would go straighter, right? So you kind of have to play with the two. Start to kind of pull that left knee away, your left leg away. Whether it's perfectly straight or slightly bent, it's okay. Just find where you can maintain and where you can hold. And we're going to steady the breath. Each inhale hugs that right knee a little closer. And then each exhale slides the left knee a little further away, or left toes further away, straightening that left leg. You're pointing through both the right toes and the left toes, so the feet are engaged here. Both shoulders are on the mat, back of the head is pressing down to the floor, and your gaze is slightly towards your nose. Inhale, pulls the right knee in. Exhale, slides the left leg away. And you might notice that at some point you become almost straight with the left leg or fully straight. Inhale, right knee pulls in. Exhale, left leg reaches away.
Steady your breathing here. Try not to force, try not to go more than where your body can handle. Always moving with as much kindness and compassion for yourself as possible. Remember, compassion is incomplete if it's not inclusive of ourselves. So move with steadiness of heart and spirit without forcing. If you manage to get your left leg fully straight, then you want to really contract your left thigh, your quadricep, and really press through that left toe. Extend there as much as you can. Let's hold it a few more breaths here. Even if your left leg isn't fully straight, that's okay. Just hold. Keep 2 shoulders down. Chin down, looking towards the tip of your nose. And then let's go ahead and exhale. Let's start to slide that left leg back in. And you can move slowly or you can move pretty quickly. Again, I'm feeling slow today, so I'm moving really slow like a little turtle. Once the left foot is back on the floor, extend that right leg. And take a moment here to maybe hold on the back of the calf or the thigh or the ankle or the heel or the toe. Find something you can hold on to with ease. So try not to engage too much into your shoulders. Let your shoulders relax. Point through your right toe and move that leg in towards your body. With the left foot planted where it is, this might be pretty accessible for you. Try to keep that right leg engaged. And start to slide the same way that left leg away. And again, it may or may not go fully straight. Don't worry about it. Allow that leg to go wherever it needs to go. Inhale, pulling the right knee in or right leg in. Exhale, sliding the left leg away. As straight as your body will allow. Keep the shoulders down, back of the head grounded. Keep pointing through both toes. Even if your left leg isn't fully straight, point through it, hold and breathe. So our yin practice, even though it's a little bit more accessible maybe to most, it can be very, very, very challenging. So the accessibility makes it open to anybody that's practicing yoga, but you can put your own challenge into this posture. You don't have to remain with the sense of, this is too easy, I could hold this forever. You shouldn't be like that. You should find yourself like, ooh, this is work. Okay, I'm gonna breathe through it and we're gonna hold and see what happens. If you feel like it's too easy, please challenge yourself and keep lengthening that left leg away and moving the right leg in and closer to your body. The stretch happens clearly in the back of this right leg because the right leg is straight. You keep pulling the knee in and it's still happening into the left hip flexor as the left leg opens and extends out. And then exhale, let's go ahead and softly bend that left knee, slide it in towards the body, bend the right knee. Take a moment here, both knees are bent back to where we started. We're gonna go for a little twist. So take your left hand to your right knee and rotate all of your legs. You can rest your foot onto your inner thigh of your left leg, over to the left as you open yourself out to the right. Try to keep your right shoulder as far down on the floor as possible so that you can really feel that rotation. Don't worry about reaching anywhere or going anywhere, just find your twist. Should feel good in the top, inside of the right shoulder. Twist and breathe. Your right foot is resting on top of your left thigh or in by your knee. I'm glad the sun came back today. I missed it yesterday. And then slowly inhale, come back through the center. We're gonna repeat that whole sequence on the other side. So plant the right foot on the floor, starting with the left knee bent. Left knee pulls in. Hug that knee into the chest. Stay here for a moment. Relaxing the shoulders down, pointing through the left toe. Keeping the shoulders square, and then exhale, start to slide that right leg away. With as much ease as you can, just go to where your body allows. You might find that one side's a little bit easier than the other. This is my easier side. So I can go right to a straight leg, but if you need to stop and keep the right knee bent for a little bit, that's totally cool. Again, we're gonna be here for a little bit of time, so ease yourself into it. Ease yourself into your maximum. Don't go right to the maximum and then come out. Stay where you can maintain. Steady your breath. Yeah, and I can see you guys better too. Pull the shoulders down. Steady your breathing. Keep extending through that right leg so you're feeling it a little bit into your psoas, into your hip flexors. A lot of muscles there at the front of your hip. Maybe even into your left hip as you pull that left knee down towards the left shoulder. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Fully release the breath. All right, so we're gonna slide that right knee in towards the body, nice and slow. And extend into that left leg, point the toe. And again, you can grab the back of your thigh. As long as that left leg stays straight, you can grab the back of your calf, your ankle, your heel, your toes, really anywhere you feel that the body allows you to hold on to. My favorite is my calf, because I can relax the shoulders and I can use the arms as leverage to pull that leg a little closer to my torso. But wherever you feel good. And then we're gonna go ahead and start to slide that right leg away. Same as before, maybe stopping where the body says, "Ooh, that's good." One of the best things I found when I first started to practice yoga many, many moons ago was the ability to become conscious of my body. It's amazing how we walk around in our bodies for years and we don't know what things feel like or what things manifest like in our bodies, what the experience of being within our body is like. So this body awareness is one of the gifts, first gifts I received with this practice. As you extend that right leg, maybe you can go to a full straight leg, contracting through that right thigh. So you're pulling the right leg away and you're pulling the left leg up and over. And you can stay here and you can relax the shoulders down. If there's a little bit of shaking going on, maybe back off a little bit and just kind of find a place where your body doesn't start to shake or quiver. But a little bit of shaking is okay. That's just your body saying, whoa, this is a lot. And then you can kind of adjust and decide, well, is it a lot meaning I need to come out a little bit, or is it a lot meaning I can stay and breathe a couple more easy breaths? So you get to choose. Pointing through both toes, really lengthening, spreading through. So you're pointing the right toes away, pointing the left toes back. See where you can go. Draw that left leg towards your body as you extend the right leg away. Try to keep the right heel on the floor minimum, even if the leg isn't straight. Inhale. Exhale. Good. A couple more breaths. Inhale. See what you can do. Exhale. Good job. Last one. Inhale, deep breath, reach, 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 contract, engage. Exhale, soften into the place you found. And then slowly slide that right foot back in. Plant the foot on the floor. Bend through the left knee gently. Take the left foot to the inner thigh of the right leg, and we're gonna go ahead and twist. So bringing the knees, I'm gonna hit my mirror, bringing the knees to the right and looking to the left. Find your rotation here. Try to keep that left shoulder down if possible. Twist through your body, look over the left shoulder. Nice, easy breathing. We don't hold the twist very long, but it feels good after our leg stretches to just release the spine. Keeping breath steady. One of the most important things here, like I mentioned before, is regulating your breath. Once you've lost control, your breath is, erratic, unsteady, and your posture is not, you're not to maintain that posture. At that point, you want to come out, re-regulate your breath, and try to go back in with that steadiness of breath. In Yin, that doesn't happen too much, but it does in our regular practice. And we're moving a lot more. And then exhale, let's slowly come back through to center. Bring the feet to the floor. Hug the knees into the chest. Roll around a couple times. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. Maybe wrap the elbows around. Lift your head, forehead to the knees. Round your spine. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. And then exhale, let's release. All right, so before we come into Shavasana, we're going to do a posture that relies on something thick underneath our backs. So if you have a big bolster, you can use one. I have this big bolster here, but layers of your couch pillows or cushions will definitely do the trick here. And you want to place it at your lower back so that when you lean back, you can rest your entirety of your back onto the pillow or onto the bolster. And then at that point, you can let your head relax. And then I'll give you a couple of options. If your head is not in the same level as your heart, if it's dipped back, you can place more underneath your head. So take time to really adjust. Doesn't matter if you need 5 pillows or 20 pillows or 2 pillows. Just allow yourself to create this openness, expansiveness of the heart and chest. And then let's relax the arms by the sides. Keeping the knees bent, you have options for your legs. So you can keep them right there, feet flat on the floor, knees bent. Feels okay. You can slide them away and straighten the legs. Feels pretty good too. Nothing really happening too much here that changes. But your last option, if you wish, is to bring the soles of the feet close towards your body. So not too far away, but close towards your body, and then allowing your knees to fall out to the sides. So this is like our Supta Badakanasana. Badakanasana is our posture where we bring the soles of the feet together, knees out, and we're usually seated upright. In this one, we're reclined, which is why it's Supta, laying down. And as we close the eyes and soften into the body, we allow the weight of gravity to pull the knees and the thighs towards the floor. If you're very flexible, it's perhaps possible that your thighs already do touch the floor. But if you find yourself struggling here, another option is to place blocks. I'm going to be here for a little bit of time, about 3 minutes. So that's why it's important to be comfortable. To place blocks underneath your knees so that your knees are being supported. And now you can stay here and relax and let the body soften. The blocks have levels, so you can always go down a lower level and let the block support your thighs or your knees. I'm going to start here for today. That feels pretty good before. And then softly breathe. Allow yourself to come into that calm state, peaceful breathing. Once you set yourself up in your yin posture with your props and everything you need, the rest is just a simple submission to what is. And our minds are supposed to wander. It is our nature to have wandering thoughts. So you can use this practice as a meditative practice to guide your attention back to your breathing, back to the inhale and back to the exhale. Notice yourself surrendering your muscles to the shape you've created. Kind of pay attention to that point where your muscles just kind of, oh, okay, this is where I'm going to be. And they may just relax. Only here for a few more breaths, so maybe the last few you can lower the level of your blocks if you're using them, or remove them if you want to. And just see what happens. Today we're treating this Supta Badakanasana a little bit like our resting posture. You can start to feel the muscles in your body relax, and especially all of the area of the jaw, the mouth, face. No need to hold tension there. Take a swallow, let the tongue go limp in the back of your throat. Tip of your tongue touching the back of your two front teeth. Lastly, if you wanted to remove the props entirely from underneath your knees, if that's something your body is called to do, you're welcome to try that. We're just going to be here for maybe 5 more breaths. Slowly as we exhale, let's go ahead and bring the hands to the knees. Slide the knees up to center so that the feet are planted back on the floor. Let the hands come down. Use your elbows to kind of lift your chest and head. Maybe hold on to your knees and slide yourself up using a little bit of core work. Come back to this kind of curled up position. It's the same one we did on our backs, except we are sitting up in this one. Press the middle back away, forehead towards the knees. Curl yourself into a tight, tight little seed. And then inhale, lift the head, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, let's release the arms. You're no longer going to need your bolster or your cushions. You can push them away, or you can use them to sit on. We'll just end our practice today back to where we started in our cross-legged position, with or without lifting up through your hips. Either way is fine. You might find you can sit upright and not worry. Sorry about that, guys. I apologize. My mom calling me. I'll call her back in a minute. So coming back to our position here, and then just, there we go. And let's just take a couple of breaths together to seal our practice as we close the eyes. Let's bring the palms together at the center of the heart, symbolizing that union of body, mind, and spirit. Deep inhale, slow exhale. Sealing all the benefits of our practice with one sound, Om. Exhaling the breath away, letting go of all things that no longer serve us. And inhale to prepare for Om. May we feel protected and safe. May we feel contented and pleased. May our physical bodies support us with health and with strength, and may our lives unfold smoothly.
with ease. Namaste.